What is good, YouTube world? It's been a minute since I've been on this channel. I thought I would just kind of come and kick it with you guys. I had a few minutes before I finished up some of my stuff for the night. What's up, Cyclone? You get 2 live streams for the day. You had to be on the streams, live stream, and now you get a Next Level Tech live stream. What's up, Gene? What's up, Billy Lawrence? How you doing? What's up, Red Lantern? So I'm just gonna come kick it with you guys, talk a little bit about where I'm at in regards to the streaming world right now. Gene beat you to it, Cyclone. Um, and kind of answer some of your questions, right? I want to kick it with you guys, let you guys know where I've been on this channel for what feels like the last 3 months. So I guess I'm going to start it off with a big FU to YouTube. I've been fighting probably about 4 or 5 strikes over the last 3 months with YouTube. And every time I think when I'm in the green, they come back around and they give me another strike. So, over the course of this year, what's up, Azrael? What's up, Paul? How you guys doing? Over the course of this year, I probably deleted over 200 videos from my YouTube channel. And I thought that I was going to be good, and they continued to give me strikes. There was a point where I got 2 strikes back to back. I tried to fight them. They refused, and they left it on my channel. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to upload again until those strikes disappear. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Let me know if the picture and the all the quality is good or whatever. I'm using some new live streaming software, so hopefully it looks okay. Yeah, so I waited for those 2 strikes to come off, and not even a week later after those 2 strikes came off, if you guys don't know, 3 strikes on a YouTube channel is automatic deletion. They get rid of your channel. Can't even argue it or fight it or nothing. So that's why when I got those 2 strikes, I waited for them to come off my channel before I started uploading again. And not even a week later after those 2 strikes came off my channel, they gave me a 3rd strike, and I tried to fight it and they said no again. So at that point, it was very discouraging trying to make content for you guys, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do with the channel, because after being so discouraged and feeling like YouTube just wanted to delete my channel, it's very hard to create content. And I've actually recorded content and just not released it. I didn't edit it or nothing. Sometimes I do want to sit here and create content for you guys and share the stuff that I'm going through and share the things that I'm excited about. But being a YouTube content creator, especially coming out of the streaming world, can be very, very scary. So that being said, this channel is pretty much demonetized. Everything that I try to upload gets demonetized, and they just try to strike everything. So if you've been trying to find me, you'll see me on the Beyond the Streams YouTube channel, where we post 3 times a week. When I can, when this channel doesn't have any active strikes, I am cross-posting some of the live streams. So if I go live on the Beyond the Stream side, if I'm allowed to, according to YouTube, I will share those live streams on this side as well. But you can also find the Beyond the Stream side on the Beyond the Streams YouTube channel, as well as wherever you listen to podcasts. Okay, I tripped the breaker. Sorry, I tripped the breaker. If let me know if you guys can see me okay now. Hopefully I'm back. Let me know if you guys can see me okay now. Yeah, I froze, tripped the breaker, but I have a UPS system that's set up on this computer, so it allowed me to continue a little bit while the stream kicked off. Okay, good. So yes, I've been posting cross-platform, but I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on in the streaming world. What's up, Francis? How you doing? All right, we got 24 people in here, y'all. Enough respect. So like I was saying, this channel's pretty much demonetized. I can't really do much on it anymore. Eventually, I'm hoping that things cool down a bit. I do have another platform that I am checking out. All right, Red Lantern, have a good one. It's called Odyssey, and Odyssey is built off of a blockchain platform. Um, One of the reasons that um, I am checking out Odyssey is obviously I do have some crypto mining machines that mine the the library coin, which is the platform that Odyssey is built off of. And because I mine those coins, you can actually use those coins on their platform to use for promotion, kind of like bumping up your videos to be more viewable. So if I do choose to go over to that platform and start working off of that platform more frequently, I do have coins that I can use to bump up for better recognition in the algorithm. So that's one of the reasons I'm kind of looking towards Library or Odyssey, Odyssey.com. So that's one of the ones that, maybe check out, see if you like the platform. They are constantly improving it. And yeah, that's kind of the stuff there. But I there was some very interesting things that happened in regards to the streaming community over the past couple days. Especially if you were in Canada, you would have noticed maybe some things acting a little funky. And I wanted to talk about this very, very briefly, but actually, you know what? Let me just share my screen and we'll go over here. So let me know if you guys like this new live streaming software that I'm using. It's got the animated backgrounds, and I'm testing out right above. It's got a donation goal, so it kind of shows you for the month. It's just like I just put on $10 just to test it out. So it shows at the top how close I am to that $10 monthly donation goal, and then it should have on-screen animations if people do donate. So I'm not trying to get you to donate. I'm just trying to test out these tools and see if they actually work. So it's pretty cool. All right, let me share my screen. Hold on. I also have, I thought I did. It might have kicked off when it did. Hold on, give me 1 second here, guys. Okay, so I'm putting on background music. Let me know if it's too loud or if you guys can't hear it, because I can't hear it. So hopefully it's not too loud. All right, let me share my screen here. Whoa, I shrunk right down and I hid behind the tree. That's pretty interesting. You guys can't even see me. That's funny. Okay, so this is an article from Torrent Freak, which always seems to come out with some articles really, really quickly. So this was posted actually on June 8th. So this was over a week ago, but this block that they're talking about in this article didn't actually come into effect until last night, right? So it says NHL broadcasters win Canada's first dynamic blank blank. I'm not saying these things. Blocking order. So I'm going to read through the article and very, very briefly summarize it once I'm done. Okay. So it says Canada's federal court has handed down dynamic blocking orders. I probably will, Paul, honestly, but at the end of the day, people need to know about this stuff. So what am I going to do? Whatever. The first of its kind in Canada, flexible injunction was obtained by companies including Bell, Rogers, Sports Network, TVA. Now, these are some of the biggest internet service providers in Canada. So it says it will be independently audited to assess over blocking and any user circumventing VPN. So they're going to try to see if they can see if people are going around the blocks with VPNs as well. With streaming of live sporting events still causing headaches of league broadcasters, alike right holders continue to demand more flexible tools to prevent infringement, especially with that word there. ISP blocking is one of the preferred anti-piracy tools in 2019, following a complaint from major media companies including Rogers, Bell, and TVA. Yeah, I honestly, whatever. It is what it is. I don't even care. So, you know what? I'm not going to go through all of this stuff. I'm just going to say if you want to read this article, because apparently everyone's telling me that I'm going to get another strike for this, and it's just information people need to know.
They need to know this information. If you want to read the whole article, go over on Torrent Free. At the end of the day, is that I strongly believe that everybody needs a VPN. They need a VPN to troubleshoot issues that they're having in general. I'm not saying to get a VPN to bypass anything. I'm saying a VPN is a great tool to have in your back pocket when you're troubleshooting issues that you're having on your devices, right? Some VPNs, like the one that I've been using for years, and I tell you guys that it's the one that I prefer to use, is NordVPN. And you know what? Here, I'll show you guys, just so you guys can see the deals. Let me share my screen. So here's the price of Nord if you guys want to hear more about it. You can see with my code, it's in the link in the description. Or you can use coupon code NextLevelTech. Limited time deal, 69% off a 2-year plan. So if you click on get the deal, you can see here. So this is giving me Canadian pricing, guys. It's cheaper if you're paying in US, because obviously I'm in Canada. But yeah, that's kind of where you'll find the prices. And you'll find the link down in the description below. You'll also notice that in the top corner here, there is a new app that is going to be entering the App Store. So if you go to the top tools section, you will be able to find that app. It is not free, but it is cheaper than paying for one of the mainstream VPNs. If you just need something just to try out, then it will be cheaper. And the only way to get access to it is to message through Telegram. So you can see down below in the banner down below, you can see you can join the Telegram group, the Android TV Tips Telegram group. There's over 2,000 people in there, and you'll constantly be able to get more up-to-date information than what YouTubers are typically able to put out. The community is great. They share a lot of good information, and they help you troubleshoot a lot of things that are happening either, for yourself or what's happening, in the world around you. Right? So the next one that I kind of wanted to talk about here, it's going to be a quick live stream, but I wanted to talk a little bit about Buzz TV devices. And, I've seen some questions. Sometimes going on their website, it can be a little bit confusing as to, what device might be right for you, what device should you buy, because there's a lot of devices that have come out a little while ago, and there's some new devices that have come out. And it can be a little bit difficult to understand what device might be right for you. Now, I want to preface this by saying that streaming devices range a lot in price. And there's nothing wrong with paying $20 for a Fire Stick Lite or $200+ for whatever device you want on the market. It's completely up to you, and you dictate and determine how much you want to spend on your entertainment, your streaming world, right? So if you are on a budget and you want to get absolutely as cheap as possible, you can get away with getting something like a Fire Stick Lite and being able to set that all up completely. What's up, Ken? How you doing, man? It's been a minute. Hope you're good. So that being said, when I show you guys the Buzz TV website, if the prices bothers you, then there's no reason to get upset. Move on. There's other devices that are cheaper. At the end of the day, Buzz TV devices are I can't even say the word proprietary, as well as their software, their layout. In my personal opinion, they have one of the best players on the market, and that's a player that you can't put on another device. So if that's a make or break for you, and you really like the players and you really want to test it out, you could get into the Buzz TV market relatively cheap. Now, when I say that, you also have to understand if you're looking at Fire Stick devices like the Fire Stick Lite that's on sale right now for $20 or $25 or whatever it is, you also have to understand that when you buy devices like that, you are also agreeing to their terms and services for how you use that device. So, even way back when people used to buy Fire tablets, I talk about this all the time, but that there's actually a disclaimer that you agree to when you buy these Fire devices with the Fire operating system, that you agree to pay less for the hardware because you're agreeing to view the advertisements that come native in the Fire OS. So Amazon is able to price these devices lower because their OS is constantly giving you, I would say, somewhat tasteful advertisements. They don't make it blatant that they're advertising. A lot of times they're advertising their own, services, their own programs, their own, applications or content or what have you. And that's the reason why they're able to keep their prices so low. I almost consider that the Fire TV devices are kind of like that that bad drug dealer that gives you a cheap hit just to get you in, and then they flood you with Prime and they flood you with everything else. Then you got to get Echo devices, and your whole home becomes a smart home based around their smart home system, right? So when you look at some of the other things, you also have to understand, when I say hardware and other devices, you have to understand that if you start to go down this rabbit hole, even if you're paying $250 for a device, once you become proficient in how to set them up and how to navigate them properly, you will be saving. You will be saving money compared to just going the typical route with cable, right? There's lots of legitimate free applications that give you content for you to enjoy. Okay, so let's go over and take a look at Buzz TV's website. Let's close this. So again, in the description below, you will see. How do I do this? Oh, there, you can see me now. So in the description below, you'll find my affiliate link for Buzz TV as well. If you use my link, you will save 10%. It does give me a little bit of a kickback, nothing really crazy. I think it's like 5% or something. I don't even know what it is. But at the end of the day, I don't just promote Buzz TV because they do give me a kickback if you use my link, but I actually really do enjoy things like their player, their software. I do enjoy their remotes because their remotes are consistently getting better, and that's something that we're going to talk about as we go over their website as well. The other thing that I really do enjoy with Buzz TV, and it's kind of a personal thing, but I actually really enjoy the relationship that I have with the people at the head office. Because some of you guys might know, but hold on a second, my microphone is off. You guys, I don't even know if you guys have been hearing me the whole time. Hold on. Okay, now you guys should hear me a lot better. Now my microphone is on. It was using my really crappy webcam microphone. Let me know if you guys can hear me better now. All right, so I really do enjoy the relationship I have with the guys at the head office. So the head office is actually about 10 minutes from my house, and once or twice a month, no, not a month, maybe once or twice every 2 to 3 months, I go down and I talk to the guys. I give them some feedback in regards to things that I would like to see with their software. It sounds the same, whatever, whatever. But I really do enjoy the relationship. So let's go over here, right? When you go to their website, this is what I mean by it's going to be a little bit confusing. Oh, these trees are getting in the way, aren't they? Let me remove these trees. 1 second, guys. So let's get rid of these trees. And maybe we'll just do that. You guys can see better now. Okay, so where's my chat? Okay, all right. So this is what I mean by it's confusing. So there's pricing, it's all over the place. What device would you or should you go with? And is spending the most on a Buzz TV device going to give you the best experience when it comes to Buzz TV? So this is where it gets confusing. So if you were to come in here and be like, you know what, price doesn't matter, and I'm just going to pay for the most expensive one. So then you would go to price high to low, and this is where it gets confusing. This box here, $200. This box here is $200. What's the difference between the two? This one's here is $179, and if we go even down to, let's say, the $120-ish price range, we have these 3 boxes, these 4 boxes. Which one is the best out of these, right? what you're going to see on their website is what they have stock left of. And if you actually sort it by new to old, this is where you're going to get the best devices that are out right now. And you're going to notice something. This one here for 120 is one of their newest devices. This one is so new that I actually don't even have my hands on it yet. They've been having some issues with shipping and that kind of stuff, right? So, but if I go back and I sort this by, let's say, price high to low, and I go back down to that same price range where we have the 140, 129, and 129 here, this $120 device is actually better than these three devices here. And that's simply because these three devices are last year's models. And this one is using the latest chipset compared to these ones with the same um, onboard storage and RAM. And when you compare it to something like a Fire Stick, this one actually has better Wi-Fi. So you're going to look at something with the VidStick Max, which is their best VidStick, and it's the same price as the new box that just came out. And if you scroll down, you're going to see that this comes with the S905Y2 chipset, which is an older chipset made for Wi-Fi only devices, right? And you're going to also notice that when you scroll up that the VidStick comes with this style of remote. Now, nothing wrong with this style of remote. It's a great remote. But when we go up to the new dongle that just came out for the same price as that device, if my internet wants to work, holy crap. Really? You're really just not going to load the page? Okay. All right, so same price, and this is some of the things that I want to point out. So this is what the device will look like when it's connected to your TV. It's kind of like a Chromecast, the way that it's set up, a hexagonal kind of shape, and it sticks into the side of the HDMI port. So it keeps your entertainment shelving nice and clean. You won't see it there. Now, the remote is a newer remote, and I actually like this design a lot better. It looks more modern. And you can see that it still comes with 32 gigs of onboard storage, 4 gigs of RAM, Android 11, and it comes with the two by two Wi-Fi. So it's better than the VidSticks, right? So this will have better Wi-Fi, and it'll still give you that clean entertainment shelf without it sticking out there. So this is actually running the S905Y4, which is the latest in the M Logic. And it's stating that it's 10% faster in operation speed compared to their previous VidStick. And I probably would venture to say it's probably more than 10%, right? Because it's a whole new generation above it, like two generations, because the previous one was the S905 Y2, and this is the Y4. So it's also running the newer Android. It's got a built-in LAN port. You don't need to have any adapters or anything like that. It's got the dual antennas for increased range for your router, Bluetooth. The packaging is supposed to, now I haven't received this box, so I can't give you 100%, but it says that it doubles as a traveling case, which is kind of nice. And it's USB powered. So if you have a decent sized power bank, that could, run outlets as well as a USB-C cord, if you lost power in your house, you could still stream off of mobile hotspots, and powering this with a USB hotspot, right? Or a USB power bank. Better flexibility. You can even take this on the go and power it or something like that, right? Yeah, so this is a really good device. It's a really, really good device. So if you're looking for one of their cheaper devices, this is what I would probably suggest, to go with something like this. If you wanted to go with something that is a little bit more high end, that it's going to give you more onboard storage and stuff like that, then I would probably look at one of these two devices here, depending on what you need, right? So again, if we look at this one here, this is a great device. I actually had it somewhere on my desk, but I don't know where it is right now. This is a great device. A lot of flexibility. You know, it comes with the S922X CPU, which is a hexa-core. A really, really good CPU. For a lot of people, I would actually venture to say that this CPU is actually overkill. And a lot of people, that's a great question. Yeah, I think that, Sep is actually asking here, he already has NordVPN. Is this deal only for new users? How do I get this deal as a user who's about to run out of my subscription? You might need to contact their support. So here, let me see here. If I go to this little support button on the bottom right of their page, hold on, let me remove this from the screen first. So on the bottom right of their page, it has a little support button where you can click on chat. Hey, let's see here. Nice to meet you. How do I use order NordVPN? Yeah, you probably will need to use a different email address and just subscribe. Um, oh man. So I'm going to ask them on the support page. There's one person in front of me in the queue, but we'll get this answer right away for you guys. I love using their support because it's really quick. It says that I'm actually talking to somebody right now. Hey, Ruby, I am a current subscriber, and I would like to renew, but use a friend's promo code. How do I do this? I hope you guys can see the conversation that I'm having here. I'll blow it up on the screen. Telling you guys one of the reasons that I like Nord so much, again, is their customer support. They tell me right away. So the instructions on how to apply your coupon can be found here. So let's click on this. All right, so you go to the pricing page, you select the preferred plan, scroll down, got a coupon. Uh, let me see. Does come on, just give me a yes or no. Not that complicated. Let me check. Okay. All right, you do that. So some of you guys are asking what the logo is on the top right of the screen, the Next Level VPN. Yeah, I don't like punctuation. I'm sorry. I'm not very punctual, okay? Stream was supposed to start at 10 o'clock. Started at 10:05. Sue me. Damn Americans want to sue everybody. You people. You people. Okay. The logo on the top right, Next Level VPN, is a VPN app that's being added to the top tools and utility category in the Next Level apps app store. It is not free. It's something that's being released shortly. If not, it's actually already there. But if you're looking for a subscription on that, that's something that you would have to message me personally for on Telegram. It is cheaper than Nord, but it is not free. Is it as good as Nord? I'm going to say no. But if you just need something that's cheap and it's going to help you with troubleshooting, then it is a great tool to use. All right. It's a very basic tool. Doesn't come with all the bells and whistles that something like Nord will have, but it still gives you great speeds and it still helps you troubleshoot some of the issues that you may have. So, yeah. Whatever, Cyclone. Whatever. All right. So Ruby's still checking that out. So this is a great device. Getting back to Buzz TV while we wait for Ruby to answer. A great device. So the Next Level App Store is the app store that's pinned at the top of the Android TV Tips Telegram group. As I've been saying for years, I am not really on YouTube. I'm not really on any social media. The only place that you're going to find me and the information that I really put out is in the Android TV Tips Telegram group, which is going across the bottom. It is the best place that I am able to share the information that we do and not having to worry with YouTube removing all my videos. We have over 2,000 people in the Telegram group that are constantly helping people troubleshoot and all that kind of stuff. Telegram group has been one of the longest standing Telegram groups in the streaming community. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with the people that are in there and the environment of the Telegram group. So I strongly advise all of you guys listening, if you don't have Telegram, download it and join the group. You can just search for Android TV Tips, or you can enter in your browser t.me/Android TV Tips, and it'll take you right to the group if you have the Telegram application installed. Okay, now one of the main things with this device is you are getting ability to add in a 2.5-inch SSD drive. It doesn't necessarily need to be an SSD drive, but if you are going for anything larger than 3 terabytes and it's not an SSD, they tend to be fatter and they don't fit properly in the cabinet for where the drives go. So I kind of recommend going with an SSD. Whatever, Paul. You guys are funny. This is still a great device. It is very fast. It's very good. I have a great review of this device. I hope that's still on my channel, where I take it through all of the tests, and I even do some gaming on it. So I had a lot of fun making that. It was a long video that took me to do, and I'm not even sure if YouTube let me keep it or not. But great device. Got a couple launchers that are built in. Comes with the older style remote. Now, I'm not telling you not to buy it because there's anything wrong with it, but I just like the newer remote that comes with the other devices. So this one comes with, I believe, 100. Does it come with 128 onboard storage as well? Yeah, it comes with 128 onboard storage, HDMI 2.1, Android 9. So if you go to this one here, it's going to give you the 128 onboard storage as well. It's the S905X4, which is the latest chipset from Amlogic. Comes with the dual external antennas that now provides 1.5 dB gain, which boosts the TX power to the router by 50%. So you're going to get better Wi-Fi on this device. It's not a hexa-core processor, but it's still going to be fast. It's going to be great. This comes in 2 different versions, 64 gig and 128. Obviously, the 128 is going to be the $200 device, but you get 10% off if you use my coupon code NEXTLEVELTech. Oh, let's go check to see if Ruby responded. Where is she? All right, let me check. You can use the code, but unfortunately, you will not get a deal with it. I recommend using a new account to take advantage of the deal. So that's the one thing. The one problem with Nord is that if you want to take advantage of the promo codes, then you kind of have to sign up with a new email address. Email addresses are super easy to make these days, and that's kind of another layer of protection when you're using a VPN, kind of keeping a separate email address just for that. So one less thing that they have on file, right? Is what it is. All right, let's close this off because I don't need to talk to them anymore. But if you have questions, to answer right away. So you saw right here on a live stream, I was able to contact their support, and they answered me right away. All right, so let's close that out. Let's close that out. Go back to here. So you are getting a better Wi-Fi, right? You are getting a fast enough chipset when it comes to the CPU. You're getting 128 gigs of onboard storage or 64. Depending on which way you go, you're getting the latest Android, which is Android 11, and it comes with a new remote. So if you check out the new remote here, there was actually an update for their Buzz TV app that came out today. So it has the all aluminum construction, the aluminum shell used for thermal efficiency, and provides an elevated look and feel. Gigabyte LAN, comes with a TF card slot. Where is the remote here? So here. That's what the remote looks like. A really sleek looking remote. It is Bluetooth, and I believe it has CEC functionality as well. So if you didn't want to spend, that much, then you could go with the 64 gig version. But, in all honesty, there's no need to spend that much money on a device if you're looking at saving money. If you wanted to get the same kind of experience, then I would suggest going with the HD5. You're going to get the new remote. You're going to get, a decent chip with it as well, with better Wi-Fi than the VidStick. Now, obviously, it's not going to be as good as Wi-Fi as something that has the two dual antennas with the DB boost, but it's going to be good enough. And it does have the Ethernet port if you wanted to hardwire it. It's built in. You don't need any adapters. And I would strongly recommend actually hardwiring it. I love power adapters. So personally, okay, guys, put this on your list. If you don't have these things, you need to look for these things either on upcoming pre-Prime Day sales or Father's Day sales or Amazon Prime Day sales when they happen, okay? These are things that I think everybody should have. One is what's called a UPS system, right? A UPS system stands for, it's a backup system, a battery backup system. So let's say you lose power and you have it hooked up to your internet, your modem, your router, right? If you lose power, that battery backup is going to continue to run your Wi-Fi even though your house has no power. Everybody should have it connected to their modem and their routers in their houses. Everybody should. I don't care. Everyone should. I have 3 set up in this space that I'm in right now. I have one on the internet, I have one on this computer, and I have another one on the other computer as well. So yeah, uninterrupted power supply. Thank you, Cyclone. I was having a little bit of a brain fart, but everybody should have at least one, 100% on their. Hi, Preppy. How you doing? She's like, oh, I'm here looking for Father's Day ideas. My boyfriend literally has everything. I don't literally have everything. I have what I need. I'm not a flashy person. It is what it is. But yeah, everyone should have a UPS system. Some of the main brands out there, at least locally for me, are brands like, what is this one? Trying another blank, but Cyber Power, and there's another one. Hold on. Let me, here, Clippers. Get out of here, Paul. Get out of here. Give me 1 second here, guys. Okay. So we are going to look at UPS. So their battery backups and surge protectors. Okay, so just to show you guys what they look like. Oh, I didn't even know Amazon Basics makes their own. Obviously, I can't see it because they don't offer that in Canada. It's only on the States that they offer this one. So there's Cyber Power and APC. Most of the time I go with APC, but Cyber Power is good too. Cyber Power is meant to be a little bit cheaper. Now, just an FYI, what are you guys talking about here? Oh my God, you guys are crazy. Get out of here. One of the best places that I've actually found for UPS systems is Costco. So if you have a Costco membership, sometimes Costco carries these UPS systems really cheap compared to what the other stores carry them for. So if you do have a Costco membership, I strongly advise checking out if they have a UPS system and seeing what the prices are like. Now, typically, I like to, especially if I'm going to be putting this on my internet, I try to go with the 1500 volt, 900 watt ones, just so that I can run it for as long as possible, right? The other ones are still going to be good too. This one's going to be fine. These ones I like to actually put like behind my bed if I can, so that I can still charge my phone and stuff like that. These other ones are still great. They're all good, but obviously the higher the rating, like the voltage and the wattage, then the more of a capacity the battery holds. Yes, you guys keep making me laugh. So if you're going with the UPS system, then that's just kind of something to look at. The other thing that I strongly recommend looking into is power line adapters. Everybody should have power line adapters. You should, in my personal opinion, if I was setting up, my home with power line adapters, this is how I would do it. Every main area in which most of the living happens. So let's say your living room and your bedrooms, I would run, depending on how many devices you need to be hardwired. Now, what are really, really important devices to hardwire? Devices like computers are like, especially if they're stationary, like desktop computers, really good to hardwire those. If you have any servers or media servers or home media PCs, really good to hardwire those. The other things to hardwire are things like gaming devices and entertainment devices, like streaming devices. Those are all things that I would look into hardwiring. Now, if you have more than two devices in the general area that you need to hardwire, the way that I would set that up, here, I'll show you guys. So first, let me talk about what I look for when I look for something like power line adapter. Now, these are some common tips when you're looking for power line adapters. I would not buy something like this, just personally. I'm not saying they don't work, but personally, if I'm going to spend the money, I'm generally going to look for something that's around, $80 to $100, and it gives me the additional power plug, so that if you plug it into the wall, so how it works is, let's say this unit here is going to plug into the outlet that's closest to your modem, and then you're going to hardwire Ethernet cable from the modem to this plug right here, and then that's going to send your internet signal through the ground wire of your power in your house, and it's going to send it through the whole network of your power, and it's going to connect up to the other adapter that you plug into the other wall, wherever it may be in your house, so that you can get access to another Ethernet port, right? You guys are funny. So I always look for ones with another power port, because I hate taking up a power port and losing the ability to plug something in if I need to, right? So not saying that these are bad. The other thing that you want to look at, you see where it says AC. Let me blow this up so it's a little bit bigger for you guys. Oh, too big. Let's see. Okay. So you see where it says the AC 1200. For myself, I look for AC 2000 and higher. Now, this is the thing. Even though you see that this is on 10% discounts, $89.99, generally you can find AC 2000 with the power plugs built into them for probably the same price, if not $10 more. So let's scroll down. We're going to see if we can find one. Look, this one is an AB 1000. Wouldn't buy that. This is in reference to the actual speed of the device. What's up, Dubar? So that's why I always look for 2000 plus. Now, here's an interesting fact about power line adapters that not a lot of people know. They are cross-brand compatible, but they are not cross-speed compatible. Okay? Let me repeat that. They are cross-brand compatible because they all use the same hardware, but they are not cross-speed compatible. So if you start off by setting up your network as an AV2000 network with these power line adapters, and then you start to buy AV1000, AV1200, then you're going to cause your power line network that you're building in your house to crash. It may or may not work, but most likely you're going to have connection issues. You want to keep them all the same speed, okay? They don't have to be the same brand. They don't have to be the same model, but they have to be the same speed if you're buying power line adapters, okay? So right here, TP-Link, AV2000. I use these ones a lot. They're really, really good. $89.99, great price. You can find it. Comes with two of the Ethernet ports on the bottom. Now, this is when I say if you are putting them in a room that you need more than two of the Ethernet ports, then what I do is I run it to an Ethernet switch. So I'll show you guys what an Ethernet switch looks like here. So Ethernet switch. Where did my mouse go? Okay, I'll just type that again. Okay, or don't type. All right, so Ethernet switch. You don't need anything crazy. Look, here's one for $15. I've actually used this specific one. Works great. So this will give you 4 more ports. I know it says 5 and you see 5, but one of these ports, typically I think it's 1 or 5, is your in port and the rest of them are out ports. So you would run an Ethernet cable from your power line adapter into here to provide the switch with the internet, and then you would have 4 out ports to plug into desktop units, home media PCs, gaming consoles, or streaming devices, right? That's generally how I would set up my home when it comes to internet, right? You know, there's a lot of people that used to actually hardwire Ethernet through their whole house. And, you know, some people don't want to go through all that mess with cables. I've actually talked to people that have run 100-foot cables all through their house. And you don't really need to do that with the advancements in technology. With use of power line adapters and network switches, then you can actually get some decent setups that are relatively clean. You can tuck them away and hide them away, and you get really fast connection all through your house to the devices that really, really need it, okay? Obviously, these switches can range anywhere from $10 in price all the way up to a couple hundred, depending on what you really need. But if you're just running a couple basic devices, there's no need to spend more than $20, $25, right? One thing that you want to look for when you're dealing with these kind of switches is you want to make sure you have enough ports that you need. You want to make sure that you have enough for if you choose to expand in that room or that scenario, right? Paul says I need to get on my private jet. Hey, I ain't making no YouTube money, bro, so I ain't got no private jet. All right, so want to make sure it has enough port for future advancements, because one thing with me, I'm always adding new devices, and I always seem to be running out of Ethernet ports. So originally in this corner, in my, I guess my office here, I started off with a 5-port, the same one that you see on the screen there, and then I've moved up to a 10-port, and I'm using all 10 of the ports. So yeah. Just leave room for future advancements. That's the only thing I would say. They're relatively cheap. So even if you went with something like this, that's an 8-port, it's going to give you 7 ports because one's an in-port and the other 7 are out, right? For $20. Like, that's not going to break the bank, right? You can see, look at this, 5-star rating with 30,000 reviews. Like, this one's 5-star rating with almost 100,000 reviews. Simple, cheap products that just work. So one of the things that you need to look for is making sure you have enough ports for what you need and for potentially where you're going to be going with your setups. The other thing that you want to look at is it a gigabit connection? Because some of them are 100 megabytes and some of them are gigabit, right? Don't go cheap out and try to get a $5 LAN switch and do a $100 megabyte bandwidth capacity. It doesn't make any sense, especially if you're going to be connecting 4 or 5 devices to it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So those are the two things there. Some of the things that you might run into is that you see something here that says that it's unmanaged, right? If you're just plugging in a couple devices, you don't need to really understand what unmanaged is versus managed. The difference is that the more expensive ones, so you'll see some of them will go up very, very expensive here. Let's see. Unmanaged. Yeah, look at this one, $800. This is going to be a managed one. Also comes with 52 ports. No, you don't need this, right? But when it's managed, you can actually log into a portal and you can control how or what happens with the different ports. You can actually manage how it works on your network. And for the average person, you don't need that kind of stuff, right? You don't need it. All right. Okay. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If I kind of skip through something really quickly. I hope I'm explaining all this for you guys. But UPS systems, great to have. Everyone should have it. Network switches are good. Power line adapters are good. These are some things, some standard things that I think everybody should kind of have kind of in their arsenal when they're building up their networks in their houses. Um, Originally when power line adapters first came out, there was a lot of compatibility issues depending on if the outlet you were using was on the same breaker as the other side that you were plugging into. And now, it's very rare for me to find an outlet that doesn't work. Like I've even plugged these things into my garage, all the way on the other side of the house, and have not had any issues. They're on different breakers. Doesn't matter. It works, right? So that's great. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go over that. I just don't feel like the cyclone. Sorry. Actually, I was reading that before the stream. Yeah, that's about the raid from 2019. I was reading that. Um, so yeah, I've been streaming for an hour, and I guess the last thing I'm really gonna talk about. I got 33 people in here, but only two people chatting. If you guys could please do me a huge favor, I am fighting like a never-ending battle with YouTube with their algorithm in regards to being able to monetize my streams, being able to get my streams out to people. It feels like for the longest time, my streams have been limited to who it's showing it to, and the only way that I'm going to ever get over that is by your guys' interactions. You guys have to like, you guys have to comment, and I don't want to make it fake. But if you enjoy something, let me know. If you don't like something, let me know. If you want to hear more about something, let me know. But the more you guys do that, is the more you influence the content that comes through the channel, and the more you do that, is the more you're telling this platform that you want to see more from me. And if they understand that you want to see more from me, they're going to show more people me, which in turn hopefully makes them like me more. Who knows? Who knows? This is YouTube at the end of the day. Whatever. So the last thing I was kind of go over here. Oh, what's this? No, I don't want to talk about that either. So we talked about Buzz TV. Okay, so check this out. There was an update to Fire TV devices. There's an update to Fire TV devices that kind of changed the layout. So you can see this is the previous layout here on the left, and this is the new layout here on the right. All I did was just change the words to logos. And you have your search, then there's your home, there's your live TV guide, and then there's your my list or my stuff, which I don't even think that I care about that, to be honest with you. So you can see nearly 2 months ago, Amazon began rolling out a new navigation menu for Fire TV devices that replaced the text menu with icons to shuffle content from various tabs a bit. While a lot of people received the new menu initially, many people never saw the update menu arrive. It seems as though Amazon has now pushed the new menu out to everyone and made the update official by sending out an email to various news sites, including himself, which is Elias from AFTVnews.com. If you're still seeing the old navigation menu, try checking for your updates manually. And here's some good things. I like the forum in AFTVnews.com. A lot of people actually comment and they give feedback, and it's actually kind of nice to go through and read some of the feedback. So this person here, Go Kings Go, uh, says that mine hadn't updated until today. Kind of a sideways step in visual design, but it feels a lot snappier and quicker on my 4 series, which of course is always welcome. So yeah. Let's see what we have here. What's up, Michael? How you doing, man? Says I've been dealing with fun networking stuff. My mesh system is a bit overkill, but when I tried just a single Wi-Fi 6 router, it wouldn't reach the other side of the apartment at full speeds. Okay, so here's the thing. This is how frequencies work. We have 2.4, we have 5G, and we have 6G. Now, the 2.4 is a bigger spectrum and it goes farther, but it allows for slower speeds. The 5G and the 6G are kind of more of a narrow band. It allows for a lot faster speeds, but it doesn't go as far. It actually doesn't penetrate actual physical objects as well as 2.4. So the general, yeah, so the general consensus when it comes to bands, so it's not G, sorry. So when it comes to the frequencies or whatever, is that all of your devices should generally be on 2.4 unless it is a device that needs low latency, right? So if you're using a device that needs low latency, which is typically a gaming device or a streaming device, that's when you'd be using the Wi-Fi 6 or the Wi-Fi 5, okay? Now, if you have those devices in an area which is farther away from those devices that would need a low latency, faster speed, then you would need to, I guess, put a mesh booster closer to those devices specifically, right? Don't put, you know, I here's the thing. Some people will try to go crazy and put Wi-Fi boosters all over their house. At the end of the day, most routers that you buy, especially if they're third party, their 2.4 is good enough to handle your whole house. The only place you're going to need a Wi-Fi booster is in those places that need the low latency bands. That are the places that you have things like a gaming device or a streaming device. That's essentially where you need to put your boosters, right? Aside from that, 2.4 is going to go anywhere you need to in your house if you're using a newer third-party streaming, third-party um, uh, router. What's up, Danny? Danny says, thanks for the information on the extra equipment options. Really helped out. Yo, anytime, man. Anytime. It's simple little things like this that doesn't cost a lot of money, but will make a big impact on your experience. Everything we do in today's age is internet related. And, we don't have to be scared of networking, right? Some people, went to school for networking and they make it really fancy. But it really has advanced to a point where the average everyday person can really build a whole home network that is efficient and optimal without breaking the bank. Like realistically, for $100, you could buy a power line adapter and a network switch if you wanted to. And if you have a small enough place, that's all you really need to optimize your whole home network, right? Now, if you have a bigger or larger home, then you're going to look into things like, getting several power line adapters, maybe even several network switches, right? For sure. Yeah. All right. I mean, if you guys have any other questions, it's 11 o'clock at night. I don't mind kicking it with you guys for a little bit, answer any questions you have. This is probably what I'm going to do just on this channel, just do some random live streams. I'll probably be talking a lot about the same stuff, just how to optimize your networks, just try to get the information out to you guys as much as I can, as long as YouTube allows me to. So we did a live stream earlier today on the Beyond the Streams side. Rojas and myself talked about how Prime Day is going to be this year from July 12th to the 13th. And there's going to be some really good sales that are coming on, right? Right now, you can't beat some of these prices. Look, the Fire Cube is $70. That you're getting a device that is compatible with your smart devices. We're talking picture-in-picture when you have webcams, smart home webcams, smart doorbells with cameras built in. You're getting picture-in-picture with these devices. You're getting hands-free smart voice assistant with these devices. You're getting a streaming device that has a hexa-core processor in it and enough power to handle anything that you throw at it. great devices. I don't think we've ever seen such a big sale on the Fire TV Cube. Also leads me to believe that I think there may actually be a Fire Cube Lite coming out. I know that sounds crazy because we've been kind of waiting for a new Fire Cube, but I think we're going to get a Fire Cube Lite. Now, what I mean by that is that there hasn't really been any large advancements in regards to the processor that's built into the Fire TV Cube second generation. So I believe that what we're going to get is the new M-Logic S905X4 chipset, or X5, which is the newest mid-tier M-Logic CPU processor for streaming devices, which is a great processor, but it's top of the line mid-tier. The one that's in the Fire TV Cube is the S922X, I believe, and that's the M-Logic top of the line processor, but it's actually 2 or 3 years old now. Not saying it's a bad processor. It's a hexa-core. It's still fast. It's still great. But the new S905X4 chips that M-Logic is coming out with now are really efficient, and they're fast enough for anything that the average person is going to be throwing at it. So I could see Amazon coming out with a Fire TV Cube Lite, and then next year coming out with the Fire TV Cube Max. Now that's exactly how they did it with the Fire Sticks. They came out with the 4K first, right? And then 2 years down the road, they came out with the Fire TV Cube Lite, which blew a lot of people's minds with how efficient they made that device. They really downscaled the specs, but for some reason, that device was still super snappy, right? And you're seeing it go on sale for $20, $25, and it's still a very competent device. And I can see them doing the same thing with the Fire TV Cube Lite when they come out, right? Same thing with the Fire TV Cube Max when they come out with that. Now, I could be completely wrong. Maybe they just come out with the Fire TV Cube 3rd gen. But in my humble opinion, I think that a lot of our expectations that that we want from a Fire TV Cube 3rd generation, they're not going to give to us. It comes with 16 gigs of onboard storage. A lot of people are going to say they want 32 or 64. And, if we look at the other devices on the market, like the NVIDIA Shield, for example, that device has been the most expensive streaming device on the market for years, right? And it has 16 gigs of onboard storage. They're not going to give you any more. And that has 2 gigs of RAM, same thing like the Fire TV Cube. So do I think that they're going to give you more? If they do give you more, I don't think it's going to be more onboard storage. For some reason, I think that they're going to go a maximum of 3 gigabytes of RAM. Really random number, I know. It's either they stay at 2 gigs of RAM or they go to 3, right? That I don't think they're going to give you 4. I really don't. In regards to the processor, like I said, there hasn't been any real advancements to the S922 M-Logic chipset. So if they're going to go with a regular Fire TV Cube 3rd generation, there's not really, as far as I'm aware, now I could be wrong, another processor to really, I guess, precede this one. That's why I'm thinking that they're going to come out with a Lite. Either they go with the M-Logic S905X4, or maybe they have a custom MediaTek one that they produce, because they do have some previous connections with MediaTek themselves, because MediaTek has produced some of their processors for their other devices, right? Cyclo, he's like, "Who hurt you, man? Why are you saying this stuff?" I'm all right. There's some comments here. Let's say what's up here. All right, so Michael says, Spectrum Internet has been fun. I tried using my own modem, but it would restart after an hour, and basically they now require that I use their modem in order to not have issues. And that's the thing sometimes that some of these ISPs make it really difficult to switch the modem. That's why it's probably just better to get a third-party router and just hook it up to the standard modem and just go from there. It can be really tricky in regards to what modems that these ISPs will provision for you or allow you to provision on your network. So yeah, there's that for sure. All right, so Sep says Powell E adapter should prevent my ring signal from dropping out periodically. I have a Wi-Fi extender, but it doesn't do the job properly. Yeah. Michael says this is even when I buy a better modem than theirs and one that's listed on their website. Do they push something out that locks out third-party modems on their own equipment with something different? I mean, they're not going to admit to it, but who knows, right? Oh man. And you know what? I prefer, and people are going to think I'm crazy, but I prefer the layout of the Amazon Fire Sticks over the NVIDIA Shields. I even prefer the remotes of the Amazon Fire Sticks over the remote of the NVIDIA Shield. And yes, I was asked this earlier today. You can use the Fire TV remotes on your NVIDIA Shields or your other Android boxes. They're Bluetooth compatible. So all you would do is you would grab, this is an older remote that I have here, but you would just grab it and hold down the home button. So I don't know if you guys can see that. And then, of course, it doesn't want to work right now. Oh, there we go. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's blinking. And then you hold down the home button for about 5-10 seconds. And once it starts blinking like that, it turns it into pairing mode. So then you would just go over to whatever device you want to pair the remote to. And then you would turn on Bluetooth pairing mode and sync the remote that way. And you'll get an awesome, awesome remote for whatever device you want to use it on. So, and here's the thing, there's some great devices out there. Yes, there is. Cyclone says, do yourself a favor and go out and go get the On 4K box from Walmart. Thank you later. Yeah, great devices. They don't sell them here in Canada, so I've never tried one out. But you know, they're great devices and they're cheap and they work great. Official Android devices. Yeah, yeah. You know, to each their own. That's the thing. There's so many devices out there. If you really want to, you know, do whatever you want to do, then you have to understand. And I used to have these live streams all the time back when, like 3-4 years ago, and I would sit here and I'd pull up a whole bunch of different devices. And you know, Ken Mullins from MS7 used to say those were some of his best live streams that he watched from me. But I'd go to places like GearBest and I'd pull up all the different devices and I'd talk about them and say, hey, if you're looking to do this, this is a good device for you to try it out on, and this and that. You really need to understand what you want from your streaming devices. And we used to have these conversations all the time when people would come to us and be like, hey, what's the best streaming device? Well, what are you looking to get from a streaming device, right? So in the case of 619 here, he really wants the ability to change launchers. So at that point, if he came to me and said, hey, what's the best streaming device for me to get? My requirements are I need it to be cheap and I need to be able to change the launchers. Well, shit, right off the bat, I'm not recommending any Fire devices to him, right? Not saying the Fire devices are bad, but it doesn't suit his needs, right? So for him, the Dynalinks, the On boxes, those devices are going to be great for him, for sure, 100%. Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's how they make their money, right? So if you, again, if you have an issue with, you know, the simplicity of what is shown on the screen, and if you really want to dictate what is shown on the screen, then for Cyclone again, I'm not going to be recommending any Fire TV devices, and he would like me more if I never mentioned another Fire TV device ever again to him. So yeah, it's been a minute. You know what? Oh, that's cool. Uno Nice says I'm streaming the same length as the game. To be honest, I don't really watch sports. I'm not a big sports watcher enthusiast. I do like to watch NHL with Preppy. So, yeah, there's that. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've actually gone to GearBest. I don't even know what boxes are on there anymore, so maybe we should just go check it out. Let's go see what GearBest has in regards to streaming devices and see what they have. So, so let's type in computer tablets and TV boxes. What's up, Nancy? So Nancy says the only thing that helps streaming devices is 1 gig of Wi-Fi and a hell of a router to go with it, no buffering. So how do I explain this? In most cases that I've helped people with their streaming issues, it's not the speed of the internet, it's the latency. The latency is the most important thing when it comes to streaming, right? The latency, how I like to explain latency is if you have a driver and they're getting from point A to point B, and they start to uh, get under the influence of, let's say, alcohol, right? An impaired driver can drive really, really fast, but doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get to their destination any quicker or any safer, right? So a network that has latency issues is kind of like that drunk driver. It could be fast, faster than you need it to be, but if it's all over the place, it's going to have delivery issues, right? So it's going to have stability issues, right? The most important thing is getting a network that has a low jitter, a low ping, and a nice stability, right? Those are the best things that you want to troubleshoot. A lot of times, people will have great speeds, gigabyte connections, but still have buffering. And their problem is the latencies. And exactly here, Paul, right here. I have 37 megabytes a second, but never have any issues with streaming because he manages his latency issues. It's exactly what I was explaining earlier when it comes to your frequencies, 2.4 and your 5, right? Depends on placements and how far those networks go when you're running it. Generally, they're supposed to be on the 5 gigahertz network when you're using streaming devices, or 6 if you can, or if you have a compatible device. However, that being said, if that device is far from the modem or the router or whatever it is that you have, then it could have issues connecting to that 5 or 6 frequency because those bands have difficulty going through objects, rooms, walls, floors, mirrors, whatever, right? And you may need to use your 2.4, right? Because the 2.4 does go farther. Oh, so this is a crypto question. Uno Nice says, who would you go with, or who you got, Avalanche or Lightning? And me personally, I would probably go with Avalanche, especially with the price that it's at right now. Super cheap for Avalanche. So here's the thing. Lightning is solid as hell, and it's been solid for a very long time. Great stability, great speeds, great prices when you're completing transactions, but it lost sexy a long time ago. Avalanche has a lot of other projects that are being built on it, and it still has that curb appeal, right? Nothing's wrong with Lightning, but I feel like marketing wise, Avalanche has a better marketing team as well as a better platform for things to be built on it. So, me personally, right now, I would probably go with Avalanche, not financial advice, just a shot in the dark. Just saying. Yeah, okay. So I'm just curious. I'm gonna go over here on GearBest, and I want to know what is the newest boxes that they have here. Oh, some nice mini PCs. Uh, these are some really cheap boxes. Now, remember the issue with a lot of these devices are the remotes are generally pretty crappy, and they're not official Android, so you're not going to be able to use a lot of things like um, Disney Plus, Netflix, stuff like that. Um, Interesting. This says that it's only a 1080p box, but then it says 4K here. Guess you're not really sure what you're getting because it says everything is 64, 32. They're just throwing up the specs, but then when you get down here, you get to pick what you want. So if you want the 4 gig 128 and you want the US plug, then you're looking at $71. Me personally, I would get something like an Onbox or a Fire Stick or Chromecast before I go spend $71 on this. Um, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't even. And when I first started getting into streaming, these kind of boxes are the ones that I would get into. But then again, I'm not a person that has things like Netflix and Disney Plus and stuff like that. So I can feel my credit card making up. I'm not trying to get you to spend money. Don't get it twisted. And you know, there doesn't have to be something that really breaks your bank, depending on what you're looking at. There's always some pretty good banks for your buck, especially right now in today's market. So depending on what you're looking at, and you know what, I'm a strong believer that if you're looking to upgrade anything in your network, everything in your house has value. There's always somebody looking to buy some shit that you have. So if you have a bunch of stuff laying around, spend a weekend collecting a whole bunch of shit that you don't use anymore, and then search your local buy and sells, see what people sell it for, and see how much money you can make, and then sell all your crap, and then buy the newest, latest, and greatest. And this is the thing I used to talk about all the time when people wanted to get Android boxes. All the time. I'm like, hey, you buy a box, you don't like it, sell it, right? You sell that, you take the money, and a lot of times you buy a box for $70, you could probably sell it for more than what you bought it for. I'm not telling you to double the price or anything like that, but recoup your money, because a lot of times people don't know that you can go to websites like GearBest or a lot of times when you're buying devices like the Fire Sticks or whatever, you're getting it on sale, right? I personally only buy Fire Sticks one time a year, and when I buy them, they're the cheapest they are all year, and I buy a couple just so I can sit on them if family and friends, want to grab a couple off me. Then, I'm paid the cheapest that it is compared to no matter when it's going on sale for the rest of the year. So, generally, if I wanted to sell it to a family member or a friend, I can guarantee I'm going to get back the money that I spent on it. And that's how it should be for any one of these devices. You guys are in the know. You know the sites to go to get them cheaper than what the average person who doesn't know is going to find it. And no matter who you sell it to, they're going to get the value out of it no matter what, right? So I'm curious to see. Uh, hold on, let me. Yeah, that's true. So Cyclone says inflation hasn't hit the Android markets, but it will soon. Um, even if inflation hasn't hit it, it will impact the shipping times. So yeah, uh, Roku isn't bad. It's not bad at all. It depends on what you want from your devices. I am curious to see if something actually comes out of that Roku Netflix deal, because if we see Netflix buying Roku, then we could see Netflix come out with their own operating system and their own hardware, because that is the two biggest things that Roku has going for it, is their hardware and their operating system. So if Netflix does buy it, I would be really curious to see what happens with Netflix, their own operating system and their own hardware. It'd be really interesting to see. So, yeah. So Koig says, "What about the new Mi Box 4S Pro? Mi Boxes in general are pretty good. Yeah. Let me see if they have the Mi Box on here. That would probably be Box S, newest. Mi Box 4S Pro. Is that this? It says Mi Box S 4K. I don't know if that's the same one that you're talking about. All right. So if this is the device you're talking about, so here's the thing. The Mi Box, they are official. They do pay for the licensing, and because of that, it is not a cheap device. You're looking at 2 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs of onboard storage. Out of the box, you're probably going to get somewhere around 4 gigs of storage left. And generally, with these devices, once they fall under a gig and a half free space, you're going to start to see some issues, right? So, personally, myself, I wouldn't be going with a Mi Box. I'd be going with something like an Onbox or something else along those lines because it's going to give you more storage personally. So, um, yeah. Oh, there's a new 4S. Okay, so let me see if I can find that. Mi Box 4S. So it's this one here. It's got a USB port there, so you can add additional storage. It's very simple looking. It's almost like they tried to take the color scheme from a Chrome book. Why does it say that it's from November of 2020? Weird. So what is the specs on this? If this is the one that you're talking about, this seems like it's super outdated because it's coming with HDMI 2, not 2.1, USB 2.0, 2 gigs of RAM. This is a really old processor. This can't be the one that you're talking about. Uh, yeah, that might not be the website. This is it here. Okay, yeah, this looks like more like it. Xiaomi has launched the Mi Box 4S Max in China. It offers 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of onboard storage. What's the price point though? Series Android TV boxes launched. This means the box has more storage and RAM than the rivals, such as the TiVo Stick. Offers a Mi Box 4S Max powered by the budget tier M Logic. So this is actually last year's version of that processor. So there is newer processors on the market than that one from M Logic. There's the S905X4, but it's still a good processor. I'm not saying that it's bad. So that's going to be the standard GPU that comes with most of them, 4K 60 frames a second, 8K compatible. APC TV notes that it doesn't have the hardware support for AV1 coding, so you shouldn't expect, no smooth 8K. How much storage do you want? No, don't care. So it does come with 2.1, USB 3.0. So $75. $75 for. Okay, so realistically, out of the licensed devices, this is a good value. It is a good value because you're getting 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of onboard storage. Realistically, out of the licensed devices, we're talking the Chrome, the Chromecast, the Fire Sticks, the NVIDIA Shields. Nothing's giving you that. Nothing's giving you that 4 gigs of RAM and the 64 gigs of onboard storage out of the licensed devices. So that is a good value. $75 isn't bad. Right now, it's only available in China, so there is no real price list for North America. I wonder if they're going to have a website where I can check this out. Yeah, I only see it on the Chinese version of their website. So we don't really have a realistic price yet, but it's going to be somewhere around $75, $80. It's not bad. Not bad at all. What kind of remote does this come with? So it looks like a standard Mi remote. It's not bad. Not bad. Again, for streaming, it's going to be fine. But I'd also argue that the average person who needs a streaming device doesn't need 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of onboard storage, right? But it is a good value for sure. As long as it stays around that $80 price range, it's a good value. All right, guys. So I've been streaming for an hour and a half. If you guys got any other questions, then let me know. If not, I'm probably going to be ending the stream soon. It was really just impromptu. It's almost midnight here, so I do have to finish up a little bit of work and then get my butt to bed. So if you guys got questions, let me know. Just hanging out with you guys. So we covered a bunch of stuff from networking to streaming devices to power backups for your devices. Even talked. What's your question, Cyclone? What is your question? Yeah, it's a late one tonight, Flick. I just felt like going live and just hanging out with you guys. It's been a moment since I've really kicked it with you guys and just done a live show by myself. I do like, um, you know, I do like live streaming and just talking to you guys. So I missed it. It's just I've been so discouraged with how YouTube's been treating me lately. So, goddamn, Paul, you're probably at work too. Paul says 4:30 a.m. It's crazy. I'm also testing out some new live streaming software that you know has some other funky things when it comes to donations and all that kind of stuff. Talked a little bit about VPNs and how I believe that everybody should have a VPN. If you're looking for free VPNs, then generally in the app stores, you can look at something like Proton VPN. If you want something that's um, a little bit better than Proton, there is a new app that's coming out in the Next Level App Store called Next Level VPN. It's not a free VPN, but it is relatively cheap. I haven't worked out the pricing yet, but I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere around $25 for the year. Stupid cheap. And then if you want something with a little bit more bells and whistles, I strongly recommend NordVPN, which is in the description below. It gives you a coupon code for an extra month and stuff like that. So I love using NordVPN, but for something that's relatively a no-brainer and stupid cheap, then the Next Level VPN will work for whatever you need it to work for. So let me check that out. I seen a comment from Nancy saying that she has a bunch of devices, and some of them that she doesn't like. The moment that you don't like an Android box, sell it. Sell it. If you have no luck selling it locally, then ask for permission and post it in the groups. Because I guarantee somebody out there is willing to buy whatever device you don't like. So you can recoup, if not 100% of the money, then at least a majority. Here's a good question that I missed. I'm sorry, Mike C. Appreciate you coming out and hanging out with me here. He says, "Do you think TiVo will make another device?" Some of you guys probably don't know, but TiVo has made another device. They made a bad business decision to come out with the TiVo stick and compete directly against Google and their Chromecast, and they shot themselves in the foot and they failed. So they went back to their roots and they started coming out with ISP partnership devices. So TiVo, what is it? TiVo streaming device. Who is it with? There's one with. No, that's not it. Uh, what is the name of it? TiVo. What are the names of some of your ISPs in the States? TiVo. TiVo what? TiVo. Can't remember the name of it now. Is it Spectrum? All right, Paul, have a good one. What's up, Stuart? Huh? Yeah, it's probably Spectrum. I couldn't remember the name of it. Spectrum. TiVo Edge for cable. TV without limits. See, you get the voice remotes, Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision. It's basically just a cable box with their software, right? I feel like there was another company too. So here's a bunch of them here. So there's the Edge for antenna, and there's the Mini Lux. So you can click here and discover some more products. There's the Mini Lux. They're making more cable boxes now. Verizon maybe. It's not Cox. I've seen it before, but I can't remember. Maybe it is Verizon. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just those boxes that I showed you guys. But yeah, TiVo Bolt. What is that? Yeah, so here's another one, TiVo Bolt, and it's another cable box. So it's a bunch of these cable boxes that they're coming out for their yeah. See, so they are making other devices, but they're not necessarily standalone streaming devices. They're cable boxes. They're kind of going back to their roots, right? But it was just a case of bad timing that they came out with their device to compete directly against the Chromecast. Shot themselves in the foot. Yeah, no problem, Maxi. So do I think that if TiVo is going to make another streaming device like this TiVo 4K2? No, I don't think they are. I think that they took a big enough loss on the first one, and they're not going to try it again. At least not anytime soon. Anybody got any other questions before we kill this one here? Again, guys, we've got 23 people watching. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and that like if you like the content, or the thumbs down if you don't like the content. But the biggest thing is, I just want to hear from you guys. I want to make sure that I'm answering any questions that you might have, or I'm giving you the content that you want. So if you want me to talk about something else, then yeah, sure, no problem. Whatever, Cyclone. You have a question? What's your question? Where are you? That's not even a question, and it's more wood than you could chuck. You woodchuck, woodchuck, wood. Okay, done. Deal. Cyclone, you need to go to sleep. Um, if you're curious about the crypto market, I can talk about the general straight state of crypto if you want. Really quickly, I can pull up a quick chart and kind of go over where the market's going if you want. Let's see. Let's share my screen, my window. All right, so let's see here. There's Bitcoin. Let me know if you guys can see this okay, or if you need me to kind of blow it up where it's bigger. So I'm just going to scroll out on Bitcoin here just to kind of give you an idea of where the market's going. Oh, the bottom can be in very, very many places in regards to crypto. So if we look at, in my humble opinion, where crypto really started taking off in 2020 here, it was up to this point right here at the end of 2020 where it just started going up like crazy, and it never really came back down to retest these areas. And oddly enough, if we look over to what's happening right now, it's retesting those areas. So if we lose the $20,000 US mark, I don't know if you can see my screen properly, but I hope you can. I can probably make the screen bigger if I do this. If we lose this $20,000 mark, expect it to flush down, and I would probably say it's going to flush down somewhere around 19,000. If we lose 19,000, then hell, we could see 17, we could see 15. It really depends on a lot of things. Right now, there's a lot of crypto-backed loans on the market right now. What that means is that people have taken out loans against their crypto at around the $20,000 mark. So once crypto becomes lower, or Bitcoin becomes lower than the $20,000 mark, what happens is the companies that these people who have taken crypto-backed loans out at have to pay them back, because now the loan is backed against an asset that is worth less than what it was when they started. So they have to pay it back. And that's what I think is going to cause a flash crash. Now, we've been bouncing off that $20,000 mark, and we haven't got under it yet. And I still strongly think that we're going to be going under it. So if I kind of zoom in on a closer time frame here, let me get rid of some of these things here so it's not so confusing. But it's interesting because I've drawn some support and resistance levels here off of what's called the Fibonacci. And that's kind of that blue line there it's bouncing off of, and it's bouncing off this top one here, right? And then if it breaks below, according to the Fibonacci levels, it could go as low as 5,500. But there's a bunch of other support and resistance lines that it would have to break in order to do that, right? So you can see that we are bouncing off of this line here, and we are kind of squeezing into this descending wedge that I have here as well. So I do think that before the end of next month, we are going to see either a move to the downside or a move to the upside, right? In my humble opinion, I do think that there is a couple more conferences that are going to come out of the States and, in the world in general, talking about, inflation and interest rates being hiked and all that kind of stuff. And that's going to cause the market to come down even more. People are going to get very scared. But at the end of the day, I am long in crypto, long on Bitcoin. I still do think in the next 5 to 10 years, we will see a $500,000 Bitcoin. People can think I'm crazy all that I want, not financial advice, but I'm waiting for the moment where Bitcoin drops under 20K for me to be like, all right, I am all in and I'm buying whatever I can. I am dollar cost averaging some of my stuff right now because regardless, I think this is a great time to do it. But I do still think the market's going to be coming down more right now. And, there's a podcast episode coming out tomorrow with kind of more of my views on that, and I strongly recommend either listening to it or watching it. There's some really, really good content in regards to why I believe this is happening as well, and why it keeps me bullish for the long term. Okay. 619. What about Elon being sued? I forget. 256 billion. Is he really? There's always some shit going on with Elon. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull that up because I want to read more about it. I think Elon was. That's just not going to go through. I know exactly. Yeah, this shit isn't going to fly. So here, let me share my screen. I seen this earlier. And as soon as I seen it, I was like, it's a non-story. So here's an article here of Elon. It says that Elon Musk was sued for 258 billion on Thursday by a Dogecoin investor who accused him of running a pyramid scheme to support cryptocurrency. In the complaint filed in federal court in Manhattan, one person, Keith Johnson, accused Musk uh, of touting Dogecoin and driving up its price, only to let the price tumble. Defendants were aware since 2019 that Dogecoin had no value, and they yet promoted Dogecoin to profit from its trading. The complaint said Musk used his pedestal as the world's richest man to operate and manipulate Dogecoin's pyramid scheme for profit, exposure, and amusement. At the end of the day, you got to do your own research. How are you going to blame somebody else? Like, that's dumb, and it's not going anywhere. Warren Buffett and Bill Gates are cryptocurrency haters. They're NFT haters. And anytime there's a negative article about cryptocurrency, you're going to see them cited everywhere. So I don't care what Bill Gates says, and I don't care what Warren Buffett says about crypto. I really don't. Johnson is seeking 86 billion in damages, representing the decline in Dogecoin's market value. He's not going to get shit. Stupid. He also wants to block Musk and his companies from promoting Dogecoin and judge to declare trading Dogecoin is gambling under federal law. This is stupid. All stupid. This is a stupid thing. It's not going to go through. The complaint said Dogecoin's sell-off began around the time Musk hosted the NBC show Saturday Night Live. To the moon. Yeah, whatever. Tesla in February said it had bought 1.5 billion of Bitcoin for a short time accepted as payments for vehicles. This shit right here was all in regards to saving money on taxes. This was a smart business decision. Nobody ever said, do what I do. Monkey see, monkey do. This shit's not going anywhere, if you ask me. That's not going anywhere. So, yeah, that's just not going anywhere. All right, guys. Hour and 45 minutes been streaming. I hope that you guys got some entertainment from me going over some of the stuff that's going on in the world in regards to streaming, cryptocurrency, and the markets. There is a really good podcast coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow is what day? Friday? Yeah, podcast comes out tomorrow. The video comes out Saturday. I highly recommend checking it out. Again, if you guys are not a part of the Telegram group, I highly recommend checking out the Telegram group. Download and install Telegram from your local app store, and then go to t.me/Android TV Tips to join the group. There's over 2,000 people in there. If you are just stepping in from the stream, what we covered here tonight is things like why everyone should have a VPN. Some really good deals on VPNs. You can find some of the links in the description below. How to navigate BuzzTV's website, what BuzzTV devices to buy if you're looking to get a BuzzTV device. We also talked about different devices, what to do if you get a device that you don't like, how to improve your network connectivity in your home network, and how to do it on the cheap. Get things like power line adapters, net switches, that kind of stuff. Talked a little bit about frequencies, bands when it comes to routers. We talked a little bit about Fire TV updates and some of the boxes that are on the market right now. And then we talked a little bit about the market and why or how low I think it could potentially go in regards to Bitcoin. And then talk a little bit about Elon Musk being sued. There's always something that he's in the news for. It's coffee. It's important. It's just coffee. I've been on the way home. Yeah, I could drink coffee and go straight to sleep. Doesn't affect me. Yeah, so Whoa. Josh Epley, nothing's guaranteed, but it's possible. Interesting. I just seen an article saying Revlon files for bankruptcy. That's crazy. That's a big company. You're welcome, Sep. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up and get going. I hope that you guys found some good information on here. If you are just catching us now, make sure you rewatch it. Let me know after the stream ends in the comment section down below. What was your favorite part of the stream tonight? Which topic you enjoyed the most? And if you learned something, what did you learn? It's been Mark from Next Level Tech, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.